I felt like I was on iCarly right now. You're watching. And 5, 4. What's up?
I've been thoughtin' and boughtin' since I was a young little thing, okay? Oh my god, it was the most intense thing that ever happened to me. My life is a chaotic madness. Chaotic madness. What's up, bitches? How is everyone doing today? We have the lovely Glitter, aka Samantha Lexi.
Hello.
Hey, beautiful. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've known you forever, even though we literally just slid into each other's DMs like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
About a week ago.
About a week ago.
You're like my first, I'm assuming you're telling people what you do for work.
Oh yeah, I've been doing this for like 11 years.
Okay. You're like my first sex worker internet friend that I'm like talking to, like, you know what I mean?
Oh really?
Yes.
Ooh, I've popped a bubble. Did I get the virginity cherry? Ooh.
Don't
worry. I'm a nobody, so you're okay.
No. Not in my book.
I know you like hype me up so much, and I'm like, girl, I'm literally like the average Joe. Like, I know most of my friends are more like poppin' than I am, so whenever people are like, oh my god, I'm like, really? Like,
I'm
no.
like, you're popping to somebody.
Even when you like posted it on Instagram yesterday, I was like, I mean, I am mini vid award winning, but when you say it like that,
you gotta celebrate your small wins and your big wins. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
Like, those are big wins. It's a big deal. You know?
It definitely is, but let's hold that note for a second. Let everyone kind of get to know who you are. Like, tell us about you. I mean, I want to know more about you too.
There's so much about me.
Let's start from what got you into the industry. I'm always curious about that.
Okay, like in general, like sex work in general, or like
sex work in general.
Okay. Well, I started waitressing at like an all nude, no alcohol strip club when I was 18.
Okay.
I feel like I've always been in the game, and then I did that forever. And then I started dancing maybe like 5. I'm so bad at like measuring time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when my dog got sick, however many years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, I started dancing. I always made really good money waitressing because low-key I was like selling alcohol under the table. So
side hustle.
At a bottle service club, I'm like, I got my own little bottle service going because we're open till 6 a.m. So then,
okay. So after 2,
right,
you would keep selling. Okay.
So we didn't serve alcohol at all, so it was like not allowed there at all. So it was like my bottle service all night. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was always pretty good, and I felt like I never needed to dance. And then my dog got really, really sick, and so I had to start taking these fucking clothes off. So then I started dancing in Vegas. And
damn.
I needed faster money, you know? And then I feel like I worked for Deja Vu. And I feel like in that company, if you're like a waitress that makes money and they find out that you're a dancer, they're like, oh, she just makes money because she's actually a dancer. Like, she's like a pretend waitress. It's really weird. Like, it's especially because like I always did pull tricks. And so
they don't really do that out there. At least not nowadays.
They do, but I mean, some waitresses are better than others, and I feel like pole was always like something that came naturally to me. And so I feel like even when I wasn't dancing, people are like, oh, she's probably like a stripper, which is really weird. I don't know, they like look down at you're cheating because you already know how to do it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to dance far. I live in LA, by the way. I wanted to dance far kind of in Vegas, so I worked at Sapphires.
Okay.
And eventually I quit waitressing, and then I was just dancing at like different clubs in LA and in Vegas. And then fast forward to the pandemic, you know, OnlyFans all last year that got me by. I definitely took a fat ass pay cut, but I'm still grateful for living very comfortably throughout the pandemic. And then when all that stuff happened with Bella Thorne, did you hear about that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So once I seen that, I was like, oh, nope, got to look at something else. And I've always wanted to be on many vids. I always wanted to be a cam girl, but I'm like, technology is so hard for me. And I would like look at it, even just navigating the site as like a member or whatever. I'm like, this is so confusing. Like I'll do this. But then, long story short, I kind of cut off all my friends and I like bored myself into a new business. Then I found many vids. I just sat there and just tried to figure it out slowly. So here we are. That's what I've been doing this year.
That's crazy. I mean, it's funny with the whole waitress thing because I started off 18 go-go dancing.
I go-go danced too before that when I was like 16.
I loved it so much. Like, and that was before I knew that go-go dancers were also considered like a part of the sex work industry. Like, I had no idea.
Hey?
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, it's like a gray line because you're still dancing on stage.
That's
pretty
true.
Much barely clothed for the most part, and you're getting tips or paid for it at the end of the day. That's technically you're selling sex, a form of sex.
Yeah.
Sex doesn't always mean intercourse, people. Please,
oh, no.
Please understand that, people. Sex does not always mean intercourse.
100%. Did you see my tweet? No one sees my tweets, but in case you did.
It's okay. I'm not even ready. I'm so shadow banned.
I'm so very irrelevant on social media, but it's fine. I'm cool in real life, I swear. I tweeted because I think it was what is it? What's it called? It's like one of those. I think it's like Dancer's Locker Room or something. They tweeted something about some like used to be porn star bad mouthing a current porn star, and I replied to it and I said, or I retweeted it and I said, sex work is sex work. Sorry, not sorry. There's not one that's better than the other. We're all sluts, so stop sluts.
Exactly.
It's like you sell your panties, sex work. Findom, sex work.
Sex work.
Anything off, but that is sex work. So
exactly.
It doesn't matter if you hoe or you're selling panties, you are all under the same umbrella, honey. We're all hoes, so might as well own it. You know,
embrace it. No, seriously. But yeah, so when I would go dance, and then there is this guy that I was with, and he basically owned like clubs, like nightclubs and stuff, and so he was like he's older than me, and so I would go to his events.
Like boyfriend?
Yeah, he was my boyfriend. And I'm so cute. I was like, oh my God, 18 with like a 21, 22-year-old and like getting in all these 21 up clubs. Like I was living the life. I was making so much money.
I love that.
Well, what seemed like so much money back then. And I would work the door. So I would like take the money. But I would dress to the door is the most... It's like
the spot you could ever be.
No, literally. And it's like I would get tips because I would always dress to the theme, and I would have to because people would know that like I'm this guy's. We'll call him Bluebird. So I was Bluebird's girl. So everyone knew. So I had to be like the top bitch. Like no other bitch that walk in. Like I couldn't look bummy. Like not 1 second. Like I had to be on all night. So I'd be in the front, and guys would be like, oh, are you dancing tonight? And I'd be like, nah, I'm just here to take your money. And I'd be like, damn.
Love that even more.
They love that so much more. And they would tip me sometimes more than they would tip the girls because it was like more of like the illusion of you look like you should be on the stage, but you're not. And I don't understand how you're not on the stage right now, especially like, damn. And I'm like, that's the whole point. I want you to think I am when I'm not.
That was similar with waitressing too, because we would dress like French maids, and so the dancers would always be mad because we would clean the stage. Mm-hmm. I'd be doing pole tricks and twerking and stuff. Yeah, but they'd be mad because lots of times customers would make it rain on us more. I mean, even though we had to split it, but still they'd make it rain on us more, and they'd get so mad about it. So that's why if they found out that you were actually a dancer, they're like, "Oh, well, she's actually a dancer." You know what I mean? like
Oh
trying
my
to
God,
like,
hater.
thing. Yeah, they were like stripper. They were like slut shaming us.
Oh my goodness. I
Can
mean,
you?
how are you gonna slut shame someone when you're also doing the same shit? That makes no sense to me. Like,
No.
I don't know. It's like there's so many people because when I started back in like 2010, oh my God, a decade ago. Holy shit. A
Wow.
little over a decade now because we're in 2021. But back then, back in my day, um, it wasn't like we didn't really have the internet per se. Like Instagram wasn't really out exactly at that time yet. Like it didn't come around to maybe I think 2012, 13 maybe.
13 or yeah.
14, 13, 14, like very like not that long ago. So a lot of it was navigating through campsites and Twitter. Twitter has always been like a sex workers, well, it
Right.
was. I don't know about now. They're also starting to act a little weird. But I would use that all the time to like utilize to try to like post photos to try to get clientele. And people would like slut shame me. Like I went under a different persona back then. I was like Chanel Vixen.
Ooh,
So
I like
ghetto. It was like literally Chanel was like the typical black girl, like stripper stage name. Like
Yeah.
any black girl was like, "Hi, I'm Chanel." Like, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Chanel," but let me add Vixen at the end of it. But like they like slut shamed me so much, and I went through that period of like, do I want to do this anymore? Because people are calling me a hoe, they're calling me a slut, like you know when society kind of turns against you.
Mhm.
And Bluebird at the time was like, fuck them. If they ain't fucking you, ain't paying your bills, none of it matters. And I was like, all right, you right, bet. Those same bitches that slut shamed me are to this day hitting me up like, hey girl, so I'm trying to like get in the industry. Can you help me out? And I'm like,
Right. I mean,
Straight
that's
trash.
fine. That's fine, but I just feel like I just tweeted about it today. I tweet all the time. I talk to myself. I tweet to like record my own thoughts. I don't know.
your online diary.
Or like I tweet to screenshot and put it on my Instagram. So no one can.
Oh my God, yeah.
I still tweet anyways. I tweet anyways. But I just tweeted today that now I lost my train of thought. What did I tweet about today? Talking about we're talking about how people would like slut shame you.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like anywhere so my whole life I've always been bullied. I feel like a lot of sex workers have a similar story, but literally anywhere I go to this day, like, and I was not cute back then. I'm much cuter now, and I still get bullied everywhere I go, like literally everywhere, which is fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings anymore like it used to when I was a kid, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like people think that they're gonna run me out of the club I'm like, you're not gonna run me out anywhere. Now you want to make me want to stay more,
Right.
and I'm
Like,
not
prove
leaving.
a point.
But when it comes to people wanting to, sorry, I got a text. Like asking you for advice and stuff. It's like people that have bullied me in the club, like so fucking mean to me, like really just trying to run me out of the fucking club. And then literally in my DMs saying, not even like, hey, how are you? It's just, this girl said, hey, I'm thinking about starting OnlyFans. How do you do it? I'm like, oh yeah, let me give you.
Let me give you the game.
Yeah,
Even though you bullied me, but you're not even trying to at least low key kiss my ass.
Not even
to get this
pretend
info.
to.
Right. Like,
say hi. I was like, yeah,
yeah, let me give it to you. Sure. Like, here you go. Go to
game-
OnlyFans.com.
the game is told and not told. I've had other girls that I don't even know that are like, hey, I see that you cam it. It seems like you do pretty good. Can I like pay you and you like tell me a few things, and then I'll just like tell them because at least they come correct.
Offered. Yeah.
You're in the game. You fucking know. You
Yeah,
know?
no, it was a lot harder. Like, I remember when I first I started off on my free cams, and it was like, this was when cam models, we had our built-in, like, laptop camera. So not like our Logitech cameras we have now. It was like the laptop built-in camera.
Well, that's what
we would.
I'm ghetto. I'm ghetto right now.
Like, see, you old school.
Yeah, we're a little ghetto.
And we would place laptops like on top of like a table, and then we would have like a wall, and we would like decorate it with like balloons or like a ribbon or something, and then have like one little lamp light that usually is like that standard yellow fluorescent light, and like the quality was so bad. And that's how we all like started. And then once technology started to evolve more and online streaming became more popular, then I would notice some girls would have like higher quality cameras. And I'd be like, hey girl, like I stumbled upon your room yesterday. I was wondering like, what camera are you using? And they would never like say anything. It was like, that information was, I'm going to take this to the grave. Like, I'm never going to tell anyone. So it took me years to learn and figure out and like low-key stalk girls. So I could try to get a glimpse of like a picture.
Screenshot.
No, literally. Like,
Like, freaking mirror behind her. You're like, oh, hold on. Screenshot.
Literally. And then now in days, it's like there's so many girls and it's so oversaturated that you can't really like keep that information to yourself. And I've realized too, like giving the game out for free isn't going to really ruin my business because you're not me. And even if we do things the exact same way, it'll never be exactly the same. So, like, I have no problems with giving girls advice or information for free as long as, like, you're nice. Like, if you're a bitch to me or you're fucking rude, I'm not going to give you shit. Like, I'm going to purposely ignore you. Like,
I always say I eat with my bitches, not compete with my bitches. But I'm like, if I don't fucking know you, the game is sold and not told. You're going to come. I'm, like, very nice, but you were never nice to me. Why would I tell you?
Exactly.
But I feel like from when you first started to now, just in general, like with sex work, I feel like people are more open to sharing information, or there's a lot more courses and stuff that's like available. There's a lot more resources available for sure. But,
yeah, definitely. Like my friend Melrose Michael, shout out to you, Mel. She has this business called Sex Work CEO, and she's a vet in the business too. And she's like a boss bitch. Like when I say this bitch is like a real boss, like she's my inspiration to like even really getting this podcast started, and like sometimes even like trying to do my life, because sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to do shit. She'll like, bitch, you're too damn talented to not do anything in life. And I'm like, you're right, sure.
Yeah,
but like
sometimes you need that.
But she puts out the game like legitimately in so much detail. Like she'll break down camera equipment, lighting equipment, like Facebook apps that you can use, like different resources, like sexworkceo.com, like it's SW and then CEO.
We'll link it in the description, you guys.
Yeah, in the description down below. I'm not sponsored at all. I am a brand ambassador, but I am not sponsored. I don't get paid to talk about this at all. I'm not forced to talk about this, just as a disclaimer.
No.
But no, seriously though, it gives like, it's so much game. Like it's free game. This is like gold. Like that information is shit that I wish I had access to when I first started. Like new day and age, like girls have it so much easier because you can just Google it. Yeah, it's there for you.
For sure. Yeah, my life coach used to be a stripper too, so I feel like that's why. Oh, obviously I was drawn to her. I never believed in life coaching. I'm like, that sounds like a fucking scam.
No, dead ass. Like when I saw you tweeted about a life coach,
bitch, you're gonna teach.
I was like, you can scam. Like, do you need a life coach?
It does sound. You've never had a life coach before. You don't believe in that. I know it does sound scammy, but I mean, I like went to her. Like she didn't come find me. She has a podcast, and so I had like a few years ago. I just like had a few years of just some rough times, you know? And then there was like this specific period where I like literally, long story short, someone that was supposed to be one of my best friends like robbed me of like everything I had. I literally had like nothing. Just like I was like emotionally depleted. Like I had like nothing, and I just feel like it's like one of those times where you're like just looking for anything to grasp onto life, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm not a religious type of gal, so it wouldn't be
Same.
that. I mean, that would be that for some people, but I would just like needed some guidance, because even just to go to work when you don't have anything, it's so hard. It's hard to be motivated to go to the club
Yeah.
with
And
that.
keep a smile on your face and not come
Yeah.
off as like that sad bitch.
Yeah, you got to be batty, not satty, and it's hard when you're
Batty, not sad.
sad. I'm so sad. So I was like I was like, there's got to be some kind of fucking stripper podcast or something that'll hype me up. And then I feel like I like binge listened to like 10 episodes before work, and I finally had like a $1,000 night, and I was like, okay, thank God. And I just like feel like her podcast and just like even her free information just changed my mindset so much. And I feel like, you know, mindset's everything. Once your mindset's there, that's it. I feel like everything I say, this is what I always tell her. I'm like, I feel like I need to walk around with like disclaimer. Everything I say is regurgitated from my life coach. I've like bought all of her courses. But anyways, her podcast helped me so much. And then she asked me to be a guest on her podcast. And then I hired her to be my life coach. And she just like changed my life like astronomically. I went from like having like pretty much nothing, and then going back to having like 10 to 15K months. And their courses are very expensive, but it came back to me manifold time and time again. I just feel like she's in my head all day with just like positive vibes, you know what I mean? And I
Do
feel
you
like,
feel like a life coach and a therapist are the same, or are they different?
I think it's similar for sure.
Okay.
And I think people have asked me that before too. They're like, why don't you just get a therapist? I'm like, that could help, but I feel like I don't want to say all, but most therapists probably wouldn't be able to teach from the same place that she is, because I feel like we've had like similar struggles. And even though she's like 24, she's much younger than me, but we've had like similar struggles, and so she's able to teach from that place, and it just like helps me so much. Like if I were to tell a therapist like shit, like my freaking ex-boyfriend came to the club and was stalking me and did this and that, like she'd be like, what, you know?
Yeah.
When I tell my life coach, it just makes more sense, and she makes it make sense for me.
So, would you say that a life coach is more like a sponsor? And in that sense, I mean like someone that just holds you accountable in life? Or do you think it's just because she comes from a similar background that you just connected with her, whether if she was a therapist or a life coach?
Yeah, the second one, for sure.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I've never done therapy, but I would think it's kind of the same, like similar.
Yeah.
As far as like the one-on-ones, because like, okay, so tell me about your childhood, you know, it's kind of like that. But just like things that she's able to connect the dots, like, oh, do you know you probably act that way because of this, you know what I mean? But I feel like she'll probably be able to connect the dots better than like a square therapist, you know? And also with that comes like the strategy of like, okay, let's try to make you more money in the club, like just strategy with that, or strategy of getting out of the club if you want to. And I just feel like it's like mindset and like diving into childhood traumas and limiting beliefs, and then also helping you make more money. So I feel like all together is like what I needed. Which
Damn,
I haven't
that
done.
doesn't really sound like a scam. Like hearing, because I've never known anyone personally that have had a life coach, but I've had like a lot of life coaches reach out to me, but it was like, it sounded good, and then they would hit me with like these outrageous packages, and I'm like,
Yeah,
girl, you cost more than a therapist. Like,
no, sure is very, very expensive, but I like what I got out of that when I was in such a lost place. Like, I still go back to those things that she has taught me to this day, but to get out of like when you're in a really dark like headspace, it's anything. I would have paid any amount of money to get out of that, you know what I mean? And I just like, I feel like I always tell her thank you like frequently, because it's like when I think about where I was a few years ago when I had found her, to where I am now, like the growth from the inside out is like crazy.
Now,
I always tell her, like, thank you so much. And she's like, so you've always been this vibrant bad bitch. You just needed me to bring it back out of you. You know, she's
that's
like,
what I was going to say.
always known that. Like, she's like, it's never me. She's like, it's all you. It just takes me saying something to you and, you know, for me to realize it again. And then you're back. She's like, that's always been there. That's always been you. She's like, that's not me doing it. But she always tells me that every time I say, like, I'm like so grateful for you or whatever. And she's like, I love you're a bad bitch, but just remember, like, that bad bitch is always there. Like, you just needed, a little something.
Just a little reminder here and there. Because I was gonna say, like, are you sure it's the life coach that's like making you this better person, or is it like something within yourself that's like you're like, okay, here I am? Because I can kind of relate. Like, sometimes I'm not like, I'm a very sad bitch at heart. Like, no lie. I told you I'm a Pisces. So, you know, I'm very, very emotional. I'm very always in my feelings. And I have unresolved childhood trauma that is still lingering. But it just takes, like, that right friend or that right person to just remind me, like, you're a badass bitch. Like, you're, like, look from where you were to where you are now. Like, that's not me. You did that. I just happen to be here to, like, just be your support system. That's really what it is. It's like,
well, I'll also tell you that I have like no friends left, so I'll pay for my friends. That's fine. That's the first problem. That's the first. I canceled all my friends. I'm tired of giving people like my energy that don't deserve it. I literally canceled everybody. Like, I'm done. I have no friends left. So I'm like, yeah, I pay for my friends, my personal trainer and my life coach. I pay top dollar for my friends.
Listen, it be like that sometimes.
But on a more serious note, yes, she does remind me of things that I already knew or that were already within me. But also going back to like childhood traumas and limiting beliefs and stuff like that, she really like helps you. She's always like, are you ready to go balls deep? Like, get the lube. Like, we're going balls deep. Like, everything. Like, I feel like she really gets to the root of it, and it just really makes more sense because she says that if, what does she say? If you don't dive into those childhood traumas, it's like your 7-year-old self ruling your life. Like, that's your subconscious mind. Like, everything you do in your life, imagine your 7-year-old self making all these adult decisions for you. And it's so true. Like, I'll give you an example. So the first thing that she asked me, like, I was like, yes, I just made a $10,000 a month, which I probably made that recently before that, but I never tracked my money. So track your money by the hour, whatever. And then she's like, so how many days did you work that month or this month? And I was like, I worked every day. And she was like almost choked on her fucking coffee. She's like, excuse me? And I was like, yeah. She's like, so you can't do that. You have to like make a schedule. You need those days off. I'm like, no, because what if I miss out on some money? And then about like my childhood and how like I'm Asian, so I was very sheltered. I literally could never go anywhere.
Like a traditional Asian
super traditional. If I went out, it's because
Are you Filipino?
Ooh, nailed it.
Yes.
That was really
okay. So then, yes, I know exactly. Yes, like traditional Filipino households are like. Yes. Okay.
So now you could begin to understand. And so I was telling her, like, yeah, I always had FOMO. Like, every time I was always sad all the time because I literally couldn't even like go to the movies or anything. I could do nothing. Like, my parents had money and they took me shopping and bought me things, but I could never go anywhere. And I feel like I was always so sad and I always had this FOMO. And she's like, do you ever think that maybe like you not taking days off from work is like that same FOMO? And she's like, so you didn't really work hard the months previous to this one, and it's like you're being the strict parent to yourself because that's what you're used to, and and you're like punishing yourself by like working every day and it's kind of like the same pattern.
Interesting.
I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. She's like, I fucking promise you, if you make a schedule 5 days a week, this many hours, she's like, I need you to send me a picture that's saying you like show me what you're doing on your day off, that you actually took the day off. And she's like, I promise you'll make the same amount of money because your mind will be rested, like, and you'll go back to work those days and make the same amount of money. And I made more money the next month.
That's interesting. Like I guess I can see it. Like I can see like the mind needing to rest. It's just like how when we work out. Like I work out 7 days a week. Like I know I need a rest day, but like the gym is like
therapeutic.
It's like yeah, exactly. Like I literally am one of those people that fight my demons in the gym. So I don't have like days off to rest. But like I can understand like what the mind. I feel like even if let's say you do work 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, those 2 days you have off, your mind is still going to be thinking about the next week that's coming up or like things you might have planned. So it's like, I don't know, it's just weird because I'm that type of person where if I'm not working every day, I feel like I'm not being productive.
Yeah, that's what I told her too.
But it's funny that you say that. She says that you're being like your strict parents, right? Because like a FOMO. My mom was like free-spirited. Like I literally had the most insane childhood ever. She was a single parent.
Yes. You guys are like... you guys...
like, it was great. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's great memories. But it was also like, as an adult, I'm like, I wish my mom cared more almost. Like, I literally had no rules. I grew up in LA, so I was like born and raised in LA. I was like an arts kid, so all my friends were like actors and actresses, so we had like access to like Hollywood parties, like just it was like a crazy like typical like Hollywood LA kid lifestyle. But we were also very poor, so I was living like a double life. Like I was the poor kid that lived in the ghetto where people would get shot up and killed, but I was going to like this all white school with like actors and actresses that I see on TV to this day. And it's like, interesting, Hannah Montana life. But I think like, to your point about you being like your overprotective parent, I look at it as I never want to be that broke, homeless, ghetto, like kid, like lifestyle that I was in, like moving from apartment to apartment because we were always getting evicted type of situation. And that's just, it's just crazy. Yeah, like, that's just crazy.
It ties back to your childhood.
It's so crazy.
But also, it was like a really unhealthy, toxic, verbally abusive environment. And even so, well, first of all, I feel like it's like the grass is always greener on the other side. I always wish I was you. I see that kids would be like, damn, you're so lucky. You have all these name brand shit. I'm like, okay, to wear in my freaking house, like, who cares? But I always wish I was them. Like, damn, your parents don't have money, but I feel like you have fun and like there's so much like love in your home. Like, I would trade all of this for that, you know. But also, she says that this was all in the first one-on-one session I had with her. My homework was like to do I forgot what it's called. It's like that Hawaiian thank you, forgive you, what do you call it? I don't know, but it's like
a diagram or
something like that. It's like thank you, I love you, sorry, I forgive you, or something like that. But it's like you have to like she was like, I want you to write letters to your parents that say that you forgive them, even though you're not going to send it to them, but just to like let go of that like pain, I guess. Because she's like, a lot of the people like I feel like owe you things that you're not going to get, but I think you need to like release that pain and forgive them for yourself. And so it's like she was just like, you know, we're all just doing the best we can with what we have at the time. So what your mom did, that's what she thought was she did what she could with what she had at the time. So it's like you can't really blame them because they all just like we're struggling with childhood traumas and stuff like that. They are doing the same thing.
Oh, definitely. Like, it's funny because my mom, like maybe a couple months ago, she texted me out of the blue and was like, "Was I a good mother to you?"
Aw,
and I didn't text her back because, like,
I have a mom.
we used to be closer, but we just drifted away as I like turned 18 basically, and I moved out. And it's just there's like a lot of family like issues in my household. Mom's single parent, lived with my grandparents till my grandpa passed away in 2010, and then I have 3 younger sisters, and it's just a very toxic like dynamic. So, but it was just weird that she had like texted me that, because I was like, okay, this is out of the blue. Like, why are you asking me this? But mentally, I wasn't ready to go into that headspace and like have that deep conversation with her where like you want to know the truth. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm just not in that headspace. But I don't know. It's just crazy though. That's so crazy.
Okay. But at least, I don't really know the situation, so I'm not defending your mom or anything, but I just feel like just knowing that she cares enough to even hear what you have to say is so amazing and something to be grateful for, even if it's something small. Because my mother hit me up sometime last year. She always blames me for her whole life, like, because I was a bad kid. Like, my dad cheated on her. Everything was my fault. Like, I was a bad kid, and that's why she got divorced. She never looks at... I'm like, oh,
you're not in the relationship.
Right.
Like,
she was like, oh, your dad cheated on me because you're such a bad kid. Everything is always my fault. And then I think somehow, sometimes my parents like to act like parents to try to ruin my life and hire private investigators and stuff. And I think they're fucking psycho. And try to find out what I'm doing with my life, and they'll find out something about sex work and try to like kind of like threaten me with it, because I only talk to my aunts. They don't even know about my life, but my aunts and my grandma distantly kind of. But anyways, but she also hit me up saying in a group chat with my little sister saying, oh, we need to help your sister, as in like it was a sickness. Like, you know how people do that if...
Oh my God, yes.
Like, actually, like, we need to help her. Like, she's not okay. I'm like, no, you're not okay. You need to go to a psychiatrist because there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? What I told her was, I was like, I'm almost 30 years old, and my sister is in college. So I pretty much raised my sister since they were in high school. I'm like, it's a little late for you to start trying to be a parent because we're good. So bye. Like,
right.
It's a little late to try to start parenting now. I'm like, I'm almost 30 years old.
Right. Like, it's too late. I'm grown. Like, I've been paying my own bills.
Because obviously you are not, you need like 5150 yourself for life, probably. You know what I mean?
Isn't it crazy when like you're an adult and then you look back at like a childhood trauma, like if you really don't release it? Like, I had someone tell me, you'll never be able to be the woman that you strive to be if you don't release your inner childhood demons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm not holding on to that pain. Like, I'm the type of person, like, something happens, it happens, and it's done. It's in the past. It's over. Like, I don't dwell on it, but it's like emotionally, subconsciously, it's still there.
Because I think that, especially sex workers, I feel like we got to be a little tougher than the average bitch, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Say that and be like, yeah, it's totally in the past, and that's what I used to say before my life coach, but it's like really diving into it and figuring out what runs your subconscious mind will, like, it just changes everything in your life. Because
I ain't trying to do all that because I have a lot of demons.
It's a lot.
And
I spend a lot of time, so I buy a lot. I bought, I think, every single one of her courses that she's ever come up with, but she's always adding to it. But it's a lot of, like, videos and then, like, worksheets. It's like, okay, write out this. Like, just find out so much about yourself through them. And I feel like that's what, keeps me positive for the most part and just, like, recreate it in life. So I feel like it's so important. I recommend you. It's scary. So she always says this in her podcast with me, and she's always like, get the lube because we're about to go 10 inches deep. We're about to go balls deep. She always says that because it's like, oh, yeah, it's super. She's always like, it's not sexy, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I just feel so much better.
Like, I'm sure, like, you probably do have, like, this relief almost, because you don't realize something is holding you down until you get rid of it, and then you're like, oh, like, wow, like it's like if I binge eat fast food and like junk food all the time and I don't work out and then I start eating healthy and I work out, I'm like, wow, like I can breathe better, like my body feels better. It's like a release. But it's like for me, I'm so good at suppressing anything tragic that happens that I literally have like 26 years because I'm gonna be 30. So yeah, because the first like negative thing that ever happened to me, I was 4. So I have 26 years of consistent bad tragedies happen that I have suppressed. That if someone's like, all right, we're about to go balls deep, let me unlock you, I don't know if I would mentally handle it. Like I think I would end up 5150 in a nut house. Like I think I would totally crack.
I feel like with anything in life, like it's got to be your idea. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like in a different way. When I feel like it's different when someone checks themselves into rehab versus if people tell you to go. It's different when you want to do it. Like if she would have approached me in the DMs trying to sell me something, I'd be like, "Bud, that's
bitch,
never
bitchy."
Like, why do I want to do that? I don't want to go in my childhood. That was the scariest thing ever, you know. But I feel like when I like wanted to do it, it's a different. Well, the different energy that you put into it is there, and what you get out of it is going to be, I mean, what you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I journal.
Ooh, I love journaling. Journaling is my freaking thing.
I love it so much. I haven't like journaled as much this month because it's like the prompts are so deep that like mentally I'm just not in that headspace, and I don't want to have to like go back and really think about how I felt or I feel about a certain situation. So I stopped journaling, and then I started to re-journal again here and there, but now I just almost use my journal as like a diary. Like if I'm feeling some type of way a day, I'll just write it down. And if I'm not feeling anything that day that I feel like I need to write down or vent to someone about, then I just won't do it. Like I don't pressure myself to write in it daily anymore. But there were some prompts that like, I was like, bruh, I can't think about this shit. Like it's just, it's too much. Like it's not something that I want to have to relive or like think about. And I would stop. So it's like, if I have a hard time writing in my digital planner, someone like trying to not force it, but like help bring it out of you so that way you can heal from it, it just traumatizes me. Like I just am so terrified.
So everything, I feel like everything is it sounds like that, but everything is not. It's always like only if I want to do it. So her courses are always like in modules. And at the beginning, she's always like, if something feels like too scary, don't do it. Go to a different one or don't do it. Like,
okay.
She's like, you're not being graded on it. You don't have to do it. She's like, this is your course. You make it whatever you want to do. She's like, if one section you resonate with and you feel like watching over and over, I've like watched one video like 100 times because it just like, I don't know. I just like resonate. It just like helped me so much listening to it.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to do like anything you don't want to do because then you're never going to want to do any of that inner work. You know what I mean? Everything that I do is I have all of her courses and I feel like I've like taken sections from each one when I resonate with it at the time.
That makes sense.
Have you ever seen this journal? The 5 minute.
Oh yeah, the 5-minute journal. Yeah, I have that digitally.
Oh, I don't like digital because I feel like it's I feel like it's more therapeutic when I write things down. But this is my fave just because I feel like it's just so easy and like
it's quick. It literally is a 5-minute journal.
Literally 5 minutes.
Literally,
like, makes you say yourself affirmations and just. I swear, I know it sounds crazy. I know I sound crazy half the time, but it's fine because sometimes the crazy works out for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it works out. But I freaking swear this journal is magic because I feel like anything I've manifested and put in this journal comes into freaking fruition. Some things I'll tell you after, but just, I don't know. I put like, do you have an Amazon wish list?
Damn, not for like a long ass time. I used to like in the early career.
Okay, so I don't know, anything I'm like grateful for, things like I have like all all like my letters from my fans and stuff, and I
Oh yeah. I still have those from when I first early started in my cam. Yeah, I thought I was the only one that kept them, but like
I always keep them because I just think it's like so sweet.
Yeah.
And sometimes they write some really sweet things in there, or just like letters from like other people, and just like other little things I'll like write down and put in there. I fucking swear I manifest them to a T, and it is so freaking wild. Magic is real if you believe in it, so might as well believe in it. Just believe in it, and it'll be real.
Magic is definitely real, and that can be a whole nother deep, long conversation, but it is definitely real. I do feel like what you put into the universe is what you will receive, so I try to put positivity into the universe so I can receive positivity back. Sorry. But
your shirt is tripping me out. Those shirts always trip me out because it's like,
oh, it's like get thanked.
It like looks. I really love that, especially because we're just talking about gratitude,
right? Oh my god!
No, it said that.
I did not even notice that.
I didn't even know what it said. I was just talking about how it looks like you're wearing a chain, but that was really wild. You guys saw that? You saw that?
That is so crazy.
And we were just talking about magic is real. If you believe it, that was fucking wild.
That is crazy, and it's literally a T-Mobile Tuesday T-shirt. So like on the back, so you know the cell phone carrier T-Mobile?
Yeah.
They like if you I have AT&T, but my friend has T-Mobile, and he gave me this shirt because I was like, hey, can I like keep this shirt? And he was like, yeah, I never wear it, and it literally says T-Mobile Tuesdays on the back.
What is like a free like they give like
like T-Mobile is actually really cool. Like they're low key. And only in this aspect are they better than AT&T, but they give their customers like free stuff on like certain days, like on Sundays. I think.
Shit when I walk in AT&T ever,
dude, they don't give us anything. AT&T is so dry. Like we don't get any. Like even if you've been a customer with them for years, like they don't give you any type of loyalty. They're like, listen,
I'm like, I have 2 iPhones with you guys. Can you throw me a little something? Throw me a bone.
Right, a little something.
I love that you're on a fit journey, by the way. Same.
Honestly, fitness is like, I feel like I have, okay, let's get real for a minute. I feel like I have like an undiagnosed eating disorder.
Same.
And I say this, dude.
Wait, can I ask how old you are?
I'm 29. I'll be 30 in March.
Same. Oh, wait, not March.
But November, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You knew that.
Yeah. So, yep, Dirty 30 coming up soon. Geez, yeah, like 7 months away now.
I'm like, how did it happen? Where did it all go?
This year went by so fast. Like, I can't believe we're already, like, middle of August. Like, basically end of August. Like, and I feel like August just started. Literally.
Anyway.
But, my whole life, even as like a young kid, like I fluctuated with my weight so much. I feel like a lot of that
animals, you know?
Yes.
It's really crazy. Okay.
I felt like a lot of it was because of me like being an LA like bred girl that like that society and the stereotypes really played with like my mental health.
Wow.
And I wanted to be a model since I could remember, like, before I was ever, like, 18, like, 14, 15, like, I always knew I wanted to be a model, but I was too short to do runway, and I was too thick to do catalog and print. And that always made me feel like, okay, then I'm just not good enough to do anything at all in life, and it sucks.
Look at you now.
I know, right? Look at me now. But I was really skinny then, and I remember what really made me kind of feel like my body mattered most to life was when basically we're like, we would love to work with you, but like your boobs aren't big enough. So
they did not.
Yeah. And so I was just like, okay, so I don't have big boobs, so I can't work with this company. Damn, they may never want to fucking work with me now after this. But whatever, they don't even work with whatever. Like, who cares?
It's fine.
Yeah, so So yeah, so I always struggled with that, and then so I went from being like really skinny to then gaining a shit ton of weight super fast and being like over 200 pounds, but like then I would lose weight and I'd be like good size, and I would just constantly gain because I binge eat. Like I'm not like I'm like the other, like people hear ED and they think, but you're not anorexic. Like ED goes on both spectrums.
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
It's not just one way. And so lately I was like, I have to get my life together. Like my family suffers from heart disease. I'm Black, so we already have high blood pressure. Like that's just something that is genetically, don't quote me people, but like it's something that runs in like Black people, really like common. And so I was like, if I might die from like a heart attack if I'm not careful. And so I started working out mainly at first because of being in the industry, and I got tired of posting pictures or videos and I just looked like the fat person out of like all my friends, and it discouraged me from wanting to like keep making videos and stay current and like up to date. And then it became more about like me, and it became like this lifestyle that I needed to look good for myself, and it makes me feel like super healthy and super strong, and seeing like the progress that I make, it makes me happy, and it's less about the industry and more about like myself. But like I love that for me because I'm such a people person that I do, my life is to like serve others, and I always put myself last. So this is the first time in my life where I feel like I'm actually putting myself first and like worrying about my needs and taking care of me first, and then taking care of everyone else around me in life. But it's a struggle because I love to eat. Oh my God. I love to eat. Ooh.
Same. I'm like a fat kid at heart for sure. I kind of have a similar story. So my sister was telling me, my sister's non-binary, so that's why I'm saying they, by the way, because I feel like everyone's like, oh, you have
No, I figured, yeah.
So they're saying, you know, it's kind of where we grew up and the time period you grew up in. And I was like, what do you mean? And they said, look at all these random spam. Anyways,
side note, these spam callers these days, I don't know what's been going on, but they've been super crazy, super aggressive.
I know, like, never. I'm like, I got like 5 right now. I'm like, what is going on?
And it's not spam likely anymore. It's like these like new bots or something that are just coming out of the woodwork. So I'm like, why is my phone blowing up? I don't have friends. Like
AT&T, what's going on? Shit. We get all these free unwarranted phone calls. What the hell? Anyways, my sister was like, it was the time period you grew up in too. I forgot what, Paris Hilton or some celebrity. They were showing me an article that was, I forgot, like 2000s or something, when one of these celebrities, I feel like it was Paris Hilton, I could be wrong though, was throwing a party, and she said she was gonna have a scale outside and you had to weigh like a certain amount or some shit like that.
What?
I was like, that's not a thing. And my sister showed me, I was like, shut the fuck up. And so they were like, yeah, think about the era that you grew up in. You grew up in kind of like a starve yourself versus be healthy era. So my sister said, I've always been kind of worried about you because you always kind of have like this eating disorder, or like not a good relationship with food. You know, I was whatever for so long. I feel like I've always been a little bit chubby or something, but not entirely to where someone would be like, she's fat. But then got a little bit older, and I got like in this really, really dark depression for the first time, I think when I was like 18 or 19. And I was like eating my feelings. I like wanted to die. It was like a really dark, scary place in my life. And I was just like eating everything. And I gained like probably like 20 pounds or thing. And I was like the biggest I ever been. And then when I realized, okay, wait, maybe I don't want to die, I like hit up my cousins that are all into fitness. And I was just like, I was trying to just eliminate everything out of my life that was not making me happy. And so my body was one thing. It was hot all the time. It didn't feel good, didn't look good. You know, I was always in the industry. It didn't help when everybody points out when you fucking gain 2 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, yes.
It's that too. And so I just like hit up my cousins and I was like, hey, like I need help. Like can you help me? And they're like, yeah, so move in with us. And we like weigh out all our food. When we go to the gym, we're fucking dragging your ass out of bed. And I kind of had a falling out with them for something, I don't know, for whatever reason. But to this day, just like so grateful for them for like showing me how to live a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, because I never really fell off completely from like what they taught me. Like they taught me how to work out for the first time. I remember going to the gym with them the first day, and I like didn't want to go because I'm like, I was like crying because I'm like, I don't even look good in like a t-shirt, like I like my
right,
you know. And then one of well, he's like a family friend. I call him my cousin, but he's like this 6 foot tall guy, and he was like, here, wear one of my shirts. I'm like, no, it's embarrassing. And he's like, there's nothing embarrassing about like trying to improve yourself. Put this on, and you'll feel good. That way, you feel like, you know, you have room to move or whatever. And so it did that, and I feel like, yeah, I lost like 15 pounds within that month, but just, and it fluctuated always since.
Right.
And I feel like when it did fluctuate, when I would gain, I feel like do you ever feel like some months I'm just hungrier this month than the last? I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I'm just fucking hungrier. And I'll get kind of like, damn, I like kind of gained a little bit of weight. And my cousin, and this is coming from a guy too, which is rarely come from a guy. He's like, so you're a girl and your hormones have to do with it, number one. And he's like,
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
And he's like, also, number two, yeah, you're not always going to look the leanest. He's like, even fitness models, they don't look how they look on stage all the time. He's like, they look fat like half the time. He's like, your weight is just going to be like that, but it's just part of it, you know. But he's just like, the important part is to stay consistent, and you'll always be good. And I feel like I always, since then, stayed consistent. I think when I started camming and stuff, I like stopped going to the gym this year, so that's why I started up again. But I never completely, like, I would never fell back to where I started since then, because I feel like when it's like a lifestyle change versus like a diet, it's like, it's just like so different. And I feel like, yeah, I kind of stopped going to the gym because I was always trying to figure out fucking ManyVids and all that shit. And I feel like when I was like stuck there figuring out, I would just like not leave the house. So then that was my routine, but I never like completely fell off from like things that I eat, you know what I mean? But I feel like so I don't know, once you start that fitness journey and make it something that is sustainable, I feel like you just feel so good from the inside. Now that I'm back in the gym, I got a trainer for the first time in my life, and I just feel like really good.
See, I had a personal trainer a couple of years ago, and he was someone that like was like known like in the people that I knew, and he was kind of like, he's like not, I wouldn't call him a social media like personal trainer, but like he does work with like a lot of IG models, and I saw a lot of before pictures where I was like, okay, they aren't just automatically skinny and you're just training them to like build a butt, like you actually have transfer. But I felt like it was a waste, and it was pretty expensive. I think I was paying like $400 or $500 a month, and I get more results when I just train myself than I did with him.
For you, you know?
Yeah, but like for him, it's like when I go to the gym, it's usually like I need like an accountability partner, like just someone that's like there with me. It's like a weird mental support system where I don't work out with you, but it's just the fact that I know that like you're there type of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly getting over that, and I'm
only people.
Exactly. It's weird, right? It's like I know that I have like a codependency personality.
I think it's
but once again,
I think it's a Pisces.
I mean, it might be a Pisces thing, but I think it also goes back to what we're talking about with like childhood trauma.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's like that circle, right? It goes right back to the beginning. Like, so it's like something I've been trying to work on, but like, I don't know, like for me, 20 pounds makes a huge difference. Like it's like for some people, 20 pounds, like isn't really that noticeable, but on me,
20 pounds on,
it's a lot, even like 10 pounds.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay, see, I'm 5 foot even, so imagine 20 pounds on me is crazy.
Right. Height definitely plays a difference.
Because there's not
For
much,
sure.
there's nowhere for it to go.
Exactly. There's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like all in my stomach. Like it just sits in my stomach. Like,
and then my face. I feel like the face is where.
Yeah, neck, and then like super, like it'll get puffy and like chubby, like round at the bottom.
I'll show you a comparison, but yeah, keep talking.
So like.
Or
I try not to worry about the number on the scale because I'm not like, I hate cardio. I'm more like a weightlifting like type of girl. Like I'll lift weights.
If you lived in LA still, we would be.
Dude, right? But LA, I don't know. I can't do it anymore. It's, for one, LA is just super overpriced. Two, it's like too many old unresolved like childhood like memories. Like
My sister feels the same way. My sister will never move back, so I understand.
Yeah, it's just like, and then two, it's like over like played. Like I've been there, done that. Like I need something new. Like if someone was like, "Hey, do you want to move to LA right now?" I mean, it sounds fun and all, but I just feel like,
or with state or general area.
Yeah, it was like it was like the Valley.
Oh no, like where
Hollywood. Oh, now I live in Chicago.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I just moved like a few months ago.
So I get that. I don't care about like the LA lifestyle. I don't have any friends, obviously, so it doesn't matter to me. But
exactly, that's who I have like no friends.
I don't own pants. I don't own one pair of pants. I can't live anywhere else because I don't want to wear clothes. I want to be naked. Even when I'm fat, I still want to be naked.
Listen,
naked.
If I could live in a nudist community and not feel like I would still be like assaulted, I would totally do it because I don't wear clothes. Like, so I was born in LA and then I moved to the Bay area when I was
to the Bay.
The Bay. I think it was like 16, 17. And then so that's where I moved from like San Francisco area 4 months ago to Chicago now. But the weather in Cali, like, you know, I'm a t-shirt dress type of gal. Like, that is me. T-shirt dresses with, like, sneakers on. Out here, the weather is insane.
I know. See, that's the first thing I thought when you said Chicago. At first I thought pizza, and then I thought cold. That's where my head went with it.
It is. Well, here's the thing. It's like the humidity is so bad that even when it pours... It's worse. Yes, and it's like sticky, and it's very like it's just
like why do you?
It's just too much. Yeah, like I remember walking my dogs in the pouring rain with like sweatpants, a hoodie, like because you know it's pouring rain, and I'm sweating because it's so hot.
That's how when I went to New York. I was trying to bring like a coat, and my best friend at the time was like, "Oh no, it's not like cold LA rain." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
No.
It was like, oh, it's like you're taking a hot shower. I'm like, what?
Yes. And a steamy hot shower, though. Like, a very steamy with, like, the doors closed and, like, there's no type of coldness in the water. And it's, like, almost like you're trying to build a sauna in a small, like, that's literally the best way to describe it. It is
actually disgusting. You see what I'm saying? That's why I stay here. That's
so
why
disgusting.
I stay here and pay top dollar.
Dude, so disgusting. But what were we talking about? I totally forgot before we got over there.
Before we got off on a tangent or two, we were talking about
weight, right?
We were talking about weight loss, and then we were talking about. Oh, I said, yeah. Oh, you were talking about the trainer.
Oh yes, the trainer. Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like I just work myself out better. Like I don't know. Yeah. I would love to have like a friend. Okay, let me not say that because I do have like a very, very few friends that I can actually say are friends. But we all live like either 7 to 8 hours away.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. Either 7 to 8 hours away or like on a completely different time zone. So it's just like I have friends that we have to coordinate and stuff, but they're not like people I can be like, hey, you want to go to the gym with today? Or do you want to go out and take this class with me? It's like I do everything all on my own.
Yeah, see, but honestly, that's kind of how... So I feel like working from home and being like so new to computers, like in general, because I didn't have to use one for so long. And so just sitting here trying to figure out how to edit videos and do all this shit, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym in a little bit, in a little bit, in a little bit, and like keep saying that. And then I would just like, okay, fuck, it's Thursday, I'll just go on
And
Monday.
you don't make it.
And
Yep.
it's like this circle. And the next thing you know, I probably gained like 10 pounds, which, I mean, wasn't like super, super noticeable, but I wasn't feeling comfortable, you know, like,
Right.
and like, I feel like even videos, I'm like, ew, like, I just like I look a little too thick, you know what I'm saying? So then I had this trainer, and it was really crazy because a year ago, like a few weeks ago, I was like on Tuesday, a memory on Instagram came up, and I reposted her story that said something about fitness, and at the time she wasn't even a personal trainer. And then
Oh, wow.
morning I posted, I was like, did I manifest you being my trainer? She was like, that was really crazy. She was like, I wasn't even trained. She's like, didn't even know I was going to be a personal trainer at that time. I was like,
What?
yeah, because she's just like she's like so hot and so beautiful. And I would always watch her stories and like be like, oh damn, like those are some cool workouts that she does. So when she started training, her gym is like an hour to an hour and a half from my house, but it will
I mean, that's LA life. Everything is like,
yeah, it's a little too far, but I'll drive there for her. But I feel like she doesn't like not in a. I'm not trying to say it in a bad way, but I feel like she doesn't have to like watch me or like train me as closely as I see her train other clients because I have worked out for so long.
Right,
I kinda
exactly.
pay her for the accountability because if I have an appointment with her, I gotta
You have to go.
pay for it, so I gotta go. So it's kind of like that, and just the gym. It's I don't know if this is all over the country, but it's a self-made training facility.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel like everyone that goes there is so fucking hot and like
So hot.
on their
It was
shit.
intimidating. That's where
Yeah.
I was when I was in the Bay.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh my gosh, amazing. But I
Yeah.
just feel like I never been there before, and the second day I was there, I just looked around. I was like, do you have to be like certified hot to fucking work out here? I'm like, literally every single person here is hot.
They have like the cute outfits on and like
So I'm like, okay.
so Instagram ready, and I would come in looking like messy hair, like maybe like a Walmart sports bra and like some biker shorts, and then I would look at the bitches around me and I'd be like, oh, so we gotta be camera ready, like we gotta look hot.
Kind of like it because I'm like, yeah. She's like, don't you feel better when you look cute at the gym? I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, so
Yeah.
putting an outfit that like I feel better. I'm like, yeah, I do kind of work out better. And then when she's like recording me for her story, I'm like, okay, my form's got to be right. But I just feel like being around everyone that's like on their fucking shit. It's like, damn, I wanna be like
It's
that.
different.
I feel like even just like paying to be in that environment like hypes me up. I'm like, when I show up and leave there, like I feel like a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it is top dollar, but I just feel like even she just works out my body, but I feel like her vibe is just
That's what it is. It's like
my-
I don't necessarily need the trainer to train me. I need the trainer to like. I mean, yes, like obviously, if I'm doing something wrong, like correct my form and like, because I don't want to injure myself. Like I come from an athletic background, so I kind of know like the basics and stuff. But like do your job if you see something wrong. But it's more so like the vibe, like the environment. Like I don't know what it is, but when I'm around other people, it's almost like that competitiveness in me comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I see you squatting 60. Well, I want to squat 80. Like,
well,
I'm going to be that bad bitch. Like, okay, well, look at me. And it's like, it sounds so like, what's the word? Not materialistic, but like
Vain.
egotistical.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Vain. There we go. Where it's like, I just want you to look at me. But it helps. It's just, I don't know. It sounds so vain.
Well, I think everybody feels like that because if you think about it, doing home workouts during quarantine versus being in the gym is way fucking different.
So different.
Like, you feed off of other people's energy. And for my gym, there's not, I feel like there's way more guys than girls there, but they are all smoking fucking hot. So I'm like, don't fucking bitch out on this fucking set. Now you better fucking kill it because you know.
Seriously.
Look, but I just feel like my other gym is cool and it's like a variety, like some really young people and some older people and some in between. But I feel like this gym, everyone's like around my age and everyone's super hot and on their shit. I'm like, damn, I want to be super hot and on my shit too.
But sometimes, like, being in that environment too can also kind of be like on the flip side where it's like I don't look like you yet, and so now I feel intimidated because I might be doing something wrong. And like I see on TikTok all the time where like people will record other people in the gym doing something wrong.
You know, I'm so not about those. I hate those vibes.
I hate those so much.
Because, you know, when I used to see stuff like that and I would show my cousin, I'm like, what if people, like back in the day when I first started my fitness journey, I would show him like, what if people think this of me? Like when I try to go by myself. And he's like, you want to know what, Samantha? There's nothing to make fun of. Like when somebody's trying to improve themselves, like even if they're doing it wrong, at least they're trying. So why would for them to laugh at them is like, you look crazy because like, or people making fun of like people that are bigger at the gym. It's like,
oh my God,
like they're trying to work out. Like, how dare you make fun of someone that's trying to improve themselves? Like,
exactly.
I'm not about those vibes, but on the flip side, if like feeling insecure about being around other people that are where you might want to be. Back to my life coach. I swear I'm not sponsored. I just really.
And this episode is sponsored by Samantha's life coach. No,
she says, you gotta reframe jealousy into inspiration, because when you feel jealous of somebody, that is the universe putting something in front of you that you want and showing what is very possible for you, because it's like, damn, she's right here in front of me and I want that. It's like, yeah, you could have that too. So use it to like light you the fuck up instead of like being jealous and like making it negative. How about like, damn, I love that for her and I want like, and that could be me. Just like, well, how I kind of started talking to you, like the video, I didn't even know anyone was going to see, because once again, no one sees my fucking tweets. But when I made that video that was like, congratulations, you guys, or whatever, it was kind of like that, because I got so many negative messages. And
yeah, let's talk about that, because like I loved the video for one. I was like, okay, I'm glad.
People stopped, let me redo it, because I wasn't wearing makeup, because no one.
I know, you were like, wait, hold on. I was like, wait, you looked hot as fuck without that though. I was like, damn. Like when you tagged me in it, I was like, oh, who is this? And I was like, wait a second, who is this? I was like, damn, this girl is bad. And I was like, wait, she's talking about me? Like, she tagged me in this? I'm sad you didn't win, but I'm also kind of glad, because then it like sparked you to like make that video, and then like that's how we like connected. So I mean, it's weird how the world works.
But right now, actually, but yeah, it is everything. Everything happens for a reason. But I got a lot of negative messages from like other producers or models and like my fans, and I feel like the messages from my fans were like a little bit kind of I'm not mad at them. I love them for like being my ride or die.
Yeah, your ride or die is literally.
But that's why I kind of made that video too. Like, I don't want them saying anything that makes, like, I feel like it represents me, especially like in like the findom world, like my slaves. If you guys are saying stuff like that, it's kind of like I'm an advocate for that. Like, I don't promote that, you know what I'm saying? So I was telling them like, you guys.
In their defense though, because okay, so they have not your fans, the platform. They do. Like, typically, there is usually the same people that always win. And this year, the community, like, the whole vibe was off. Like, normally...
I had no idea what was going on.
Like, the whole vibe was off. Like, the protest was necessary. Like, it needed to be done. Even, like, the top models on the platform, even they were like, yo, like, we need a change. Like, there needs... Like, you guys need to listen and hear us. So I completely understand where they were coming from. Like, even when they're like, oh, in every single category, it's the same people that win. I was like, hold up. Skirt. I've only won twice. So I totally get where your fans were coming from, because it's true. It is 99% of the time the same people win. Every time. Every time. But it's also them just having your back, too, where they're like,
totally.
Yo, like, what the hell? And then it's also too where it's like, I really don't know how they choose their winners out of the top 5. Sometimes I feel like it's like a random generator.
I feel like
sometimes,
I feel like they might pick,
like they have a favorite.
Yeah, or I feel like I feel like sometimes they might even go off of pictures that looks good on their page or something like that.
Right, because sometimes the categories that win, I'm like, your photo, your entry had nothing to do with that category.
Right.
Like, how did you win this category when your entry doesn't match the category? Like,
right.
That makes no sense. So, like, I feel them, and, like, I have their back, but I also get where you are coming from, where it's like, hey, like, that's about...
I addressed that in the video, too. I was like, I love you guys. I'm not mad at you guys. Like, I really... That's what I think I said in the end. But it was, like, 3 parts. I don't know if anyone's seen all 3.
I watched all 3.
Okay, because I'm like, I feel like it's all... I'm like, whatever. I didn't know anyone's going to see anything. No, I get 0 views. The one not wearing makeup, and the only one video I'm wearing no everybody. I'm like, perfect, of course, love that for me. But anyways, I said it like towards the end. I was just like, I love you guys. Like, thank you guys for supporting me so hard. Like, and I'm so new to this, and like, I wouldn't have come like this far and this fast without you guys. Like, I appreciate you guys, but I need you to go congratulate the other models, because that's not my vibe is like good vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you got to celebrate everybody just like yourself. And so to be mad about me not winning is, you know, you got to be happy for the next person, because eventually it's going to be my turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like when people are saying that, like, they pick the same people, I just started in February. The first contest I entered was the Valentine's contest, and I won that contest, and I was like, holy fucking...
Yeah, I thought you were, like, on the platform. Like, I thought you had been on it.
I just started.
So I was surprised that you just started.
One video. I was camming on my shitty MacBook Air with, like, the shittiest quality, and then people were like, why don't you make videos? I'm like, I don't really know how to do that. Then I did one, and it was, like, shitty quality, and then I had one video enter the Valentine's contest and got best pick, and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, I was tripping out. I was like, is this real life? Like, this is not real life right now. I was like, I was like, I fucking won. And then, I don't know. That was really crazy to me. And then a few months after that, they me to do MV Live Takeover, and I did, like, a full, I was like, you guys picked me? Like, I can't, like, every time that it's like that, I'm like, I can't believe you picked me. And then they picked me again, a few weeks, or like last week actually, for another MV Live Takeover. So I feel like, I mean, I don't really know as much as you guys do, but I'm like, I just started in February, and I feel like they picked me for a few things, so it can't be true altogether, but but either way, I just wanted everybody to be celebrated, because I feel like everybody, you know, worked hard. So I feel like, I'm like, let's not do, being mad about me not winning doesn't help me, make me win, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it.
I feel like I wanted, I don't know, just like good vibes out there, you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know. And I'm really happy that I made that video, even though I wasn't wearing any makeup. Because
listen, you looked hot. Like,
I met you and a few other girls, so that was pretty cool, because I feel like I didn't really know anybody, even like internet.
It's hard to like meet people in the industry before, like, the whole panorama that's going on. We had conventions, and so you would kind of meet people at like conventions. It'd be like, hey, who's going to like Exotica or something, and then like people that you would like talk to on Twitter. Yeah, like I've been to Avians, I've been to Exotica for a few years now. I want to go to Avians 2022, like, because it's always in January. Okay. But I'm just afraid with how like the world is still going. Because like when you go to Avians, everyone gets sick. It's just so many people. Like,
really? Wait, is that Vegas or?
Yeah, that one's Vegas. Yeah. And now with like this going on, like I'm vaccinated and everything, but as we know, being vaccinated now doesn't even mean anything. But two, I haven't been around a large crowd of people in like since like 2019. So I'm also like really anxious about that.
Yeah.
And it's also a very expensive trip too, that like, I don't know, you know?
I mean, I would like to meet you eventually in real life.
Yes. But I'm always in Cali. Well, except for the last 4 months, but like I do travel quite a bit when it's safe.
I'm just happy that I have some internet friends in the industry, because I like really, I don't know, I'm like, how do you meet people? Even
it's hard. What I do, I just kind of like, this is how I've met like a lot of my internet friends. I'll like follow them, and then like I'll comment on some pictures, and I'll be like, "Oh, girl, you look cute here." And then like once we kind of have like that liking each other's photos back and forth here and there, I'll like slide in the DMs, and I'll be like, "Hey, like if you're ever down to like hang anytime, like if I'm in your area or you're in my area, like here's my number." And then it kind of goes from there, where it's like, all right, we have each other's numbers. And then it's just kind of like if the opportunity arises, then I'll kind of like try to like make my move. Like, you know, it's kind of like
some creepy.
I mean,
well, I feel like you do, because I feel like I don't know how to do it without sounding like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like weird, because it's like I'm like, oh my god, you're so hot, like you're so cute, like that's usually like my intro, like, but I'm not like lying, like I think like you're like a cute or beautiful person. I mean, but that's like my pickup line almost, like, you know. And then from there, it just kind of, I just take it by the flow and see where it goes, and usually it'll work out. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Like making internet friends is like weird, but then I'm more awkward in real life. Oh, like I won't go so awkward in real life. Like I get nervous.
See, because I've been bullied my whole life, and usually by girls, I like would never do that, because I just like, girls usually hate me. Like they always hate me, and so I would never do that, because I just feel like girls hate me without even meeting me. It's really crazy, because I'm like, dang, if you were to be my friend, I'm like a really nice person and a really good friend, so that sucks, because you're missing out on some good times, you guys. But
seriously, it's because I have RBF, and like people have told me that resting bitch face.
Oh, I love that, because it's cheaper, because you don't have to buy Botox and shit.
No, seriously.
I have all the emotions. It's very expensive.
Listen, people think that I'm such like a stuck-up bitch just because of like, I guess how my face is sometimes when I'm just like zoned out or like to myself. But then when they get to know me, they're like, "Wow, I thought you were gonna be a bitch, but you're actually a really nice person." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I get that all the time, but thanks." Like, it's just so weird, because you just never know with people and like their demeanors and stuff like that, especially in this industry, when you have beautiful women, but then you also have, you're selling sex, and then on top of that, you have finances involved. Right. And when money gets involved, it can get very, very tricky. Well, very fast.
That's all your caveman instincts come out, because it's like Survivor. You know what I'm saying? This when you have all your necessities, then you could act calmly, you know? But yeah, it's the opposite for me, because I was friends with a bouncer from one of the clubs I worked at in Orange County. And he's like, you know, I think people are like kind of scared of you, or like don't understand you. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. I'm used to not having friends in the club. I never in the club, even though I'm the nicest. But I'm like, it's fine. I'm used to it. But he's like, I think people just trip out, because I'll be like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Like I really love. But he says that people think I'm being sarcastic and I'm like trying to be a bitch. And he's like, I think it's hard for people to understand how like sweet you really are, that they don't know how to take it. So I'll be like,
and then like, when you're a beautiful woman on top of it, and you're nice, they think that you have like bad intentions almost. It's like you can't be beautiful, be nice, have a good heart and a good personality. It's like it just doesn't work. Like people can't comprehend that, and I'm like, that's weird, because
really sad.
What does beauty have anything to do with your heart? You know, like I know some of the most drop dead gorgeous girls ever, but they're so ugly because their soul and their heart is disgusting.
Yeah, like, because when I got to know him, he was like, "Oh, he's like, that's why you're so pretty and you're nice, because you were bullied your whole life." I'm like, right. I'm like, I still am, clearly.
Right. I'm bullied even more now than I was then.
Than before, but I don't know. I just keep being nice, and people just, I don't know. But
I mean, there are some great people in the industry for sure. That are, I mean, I can send you some like links too. You can slide in their DMs. They're such good, like they have such good hearts, open, supportive, like personally, professionally.
I will say one person. I feel like I feel like I say thank you to him all the time. Jean Claude is the one he reached.
Oh my God, yes, he got. I was so sad
Jean
he got out of top 5 at the last minute.
He did. I seen that too. I was like, wait, how did that happen? Because I feel like he was like 3, and then I was like, wait, hold on.
Yes, the last day he got booted out at the last minute, and I was so sad.
I don't know. I thought he had that in the bag for sure, but damn.
Same.
But shout out to him because going back to when I had that one video and then won the Valentine's contest, I was just like, oh, that's probably it. That was cool. That's probably gonna be the end of the road for me. But I'm just like,
right.
My rank was like freaking like 30,000. I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna make it to the top. I'm like, that's impossible. And then he reached out to me. He was like, hey, something like I seen your one video. He's like, you have some great potential. Is there like something you don't understand about the site? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I don't know, not really. I didn't even know what to ask in order.
Right.
I didn't even know what questions to ask. And I kind of felt like a little bit like triggered by it because I'm like, it was like it's a sensitive subject for me because I suck at technology. So when he was asking me that, I was kind of like, I felt attacked. I'm like, why? Stop asking me.
No, it's just trying to be open.
Yeah.
And, like, hopeful.
No, totally. I knew he was being helpful, but I was like, don't ask me. Like, childhood traumas, it's like that. My technology insecurities is like that. I'm like, don't ask me. I don't want to talk about it, you know? So he was
Trust me, you'll learn real quick.
You never post on MV Social. I was like, I don't really know what to post. He's like, it's kind of like Twitter. He's like, so he was like giving me tips and stuff. I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I feel like he kept checking up on me. He's like, hey, so like, when are you going to put out more videos? I'm like, I don't know. I like don't really know how to do it. And he was just like, I don't know. I feel like he like pushed me and to a point where it was kind of like, stop pressuring me. I felt like telling him like, I suck. I'm never going to be anything. So just like, stop asking me. You're wasting your time, you know? But he's like so freaking sweet and like just kept like checking up on me. He's like, hey, I see your sales are, I feel like he's been my hype man this whole time.
Oh, that's
like,
so sweet.
Because he was like, I feel like women of color don't get any, or like it's harder for them to come up in this industry. And he's like, I want to see you as much as you can. Like, I'll repost you. I'm like, there's nothing to repost. Like, I wanted to cry when he was messaging me because I was like, this is so nice, but I felt like you're wasting your time because I'm like not gonna be anything in this industry. So just stop, you know?
No.
Like kept like reposting me, and he's like, I see your rank going up, I see your sales going up, and then when I got to the 1K, I was like, holy shit, one single digit K.
Right?
Oh, I'm famous, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Fucking famous. That's it. We're done. But then, then I just started selling a bunch of customs, and he's like, "You're killing it." Just like I feel like he's been my hype man this whole time. Shout out to Prince Gene because I freaking swear I wouldn't be right here in the industry. And then
he's so sweet.
I told him that too. I was like, I wouldn't be like, I'm not even like you guys are, but I'm like, the progress I've made since my shitty MacBook Air webcamming is like, it's just, I've come so far since February, so that's why even getting nominated for awards, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, if you know how much I don't understand computers, that was so amazing to me. So that was such a win for me already. But when I told him thank you for like, I feel like all my progress was because you pushed me, and he was like, nope. He was like, you've always kind of.
It was you.
He was like, he said you've always been what did he say? You've always been a badass. I just had to let you know that you could be a badass on many vids too. I was like, wow. He's like,
yep.
The badass. I'm like, you know what? You're kind of right because I use like in the club and stuff like that. But he's like, I just had to let you know you could be a badass here too. I was like, amazing.
Yep.
Mic drop.
That's the way I take online. I always, okay, this is how I do it, especially if I'm filming a video or something. I go, if I was go-go dancing.
I'm eating sprinkles. I do weird things like this.
You're fine. I was like, what are you eating? And then I was like, oh, it's sprinkles. I was like, if I was go-go dancing, just, I put myself like in that like persona. I'm like, okay, it's the same thing, but it's just, there's a camera. Sometimes it can be hard because, oh my God, there's like a fly that I got in my house.
Oh my gosh, when I went like this, like a fly or something got in my room too, I was like, dude, what the hell is that?
Dude.
That was really
anyways, so like, it's what I learned, because it's very difficult talking to yourself. Because it's you're normally by yourself, and then there's a camera, and you have to imagine that camera is a real life person.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be very difficult sometimes. I've always wanted to be like a YouTuber and stuff. So like, this is so weird.
You are now. Currently you are.
Currently I am. But I'll like talk. Okay, I'm not crazy. No one commit me.
Say that all the
time.
time.
But like, I'll talk to myself to like practice, like even like for the podcast, like I'll be in the shower and I'll like practice my intro. I'll be like, what's up everybody? Or like, I don't know, like weird things. And then like, I'm like, no, I don't like how that sounds. Like, it's just like, so I can like almost have in the back of my head where it sounds natural when I say it out loud versus doing it for the first time and it's in front of a camera and I have to perform and it sounds like awkward. It sounds forced. So I just put myself in that persona. Like I'll put some music on and I'll like get myself pumped and then I'll just act like I'm an actress. Like I act like I'm on a Hollywood set.
Love that.
Or I'm like live on stage go-go dancing and it like it'll switch in my brain. Like it just switches and then it makes me feel like there's a room full of people and then I can perform better.
Yeah.
Like that's what works for me. And then there are times where
like on like or both. Like when you're filming or when you're on live? Is that what you're talking about?
Both. Yeah. Okay. Like both. Yeah. Especially online, like live, it can be harder like when you're trying to build that like fan base and then you're in a room where you're live but there's no one in there but you have to look entertaining for people to want to go in there. That's when it's the hardest because it's like no one's in here but no one's going to click in here if I look bored and dead. So what the fuck am I going to do where like I'm not just sitting here having a little conversation with myself and people can see there's no one talking back to me. Go dance, put some music on. Like I used to have my pole up.
Oh, you're
dance on the pole.
In front of my pole, actually.
Oh,
in front of my pole. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Mm-hmm. But when there is people, even when there's just guests on there, I always think that the guests are fake. That might even try to hook you up. But I'm like, you guys probably aren't even here. But I'm always like. Or even if there is like 3 people on there, I'm like, you guys are very quiet today. I'm like, well, you came to the right place because I got lots to say. I'm like, you want to know what happened to me?
Yep.
And sometimes people be like, you're hella funny, but I'll just be like, I'm like, do you want some? I'm like, I'm gonna eat my dinner with you. I'm like, do you want some?
Dude, yes.
You came to the right place because I have so much to say. I'm like, okay, so let me tell you this one time, and I'll just fucking tell them stories, and they're like, you're a trip. I'm like, I know.
Dude, yes. I low-key miss camming because, like, it was just so much fun. Like, I used to have, like, many, like, fun, creative ideas. Yeah, I canned. That's how I started. Like, I went from go-go dancing and, like, being in the club to camming, and then from there, I just kind of evolved from camming to like clips. I just kind of like started evolving with like what was new and like the new hype thing from there. And like just the way that my life and schedule is, it's hard for me to keep a consistent cam schedule that like it just wouldn't work for me. Like just realistically, a cam schedule wouldn't work. But like it can be fun, especially if you have like a crowd too. Like you can do so many fun things. I used to do like DJ, like someone can tip for me to DJ.
You DJ? Oh my god, you're so
talented. I can't DJ, girl. I would like I would have what's it called, Audacity, and I would like copy and paste different songs like that. Or like I would have them tip me to like rap, and cause like I thought I was a rapper. I thought I was a rapper. So like just fun shit like that. Like so I love the industry because you can do so many different things and you make it what you want to do and you're not forced to do something you don't want to do because there's an avenue for everyone in any lane.
I feel like especially in the online world, and I feel like although this is still a huge pay cut, I'm definitely not making 6 figures like it was in the club, but I feel like eventually it will be that.
Yeah.
I feel like I just like it better because I feel like it's less draining because I'm not dealing with all different kinds of energies directly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it just cuts the bullying aspect of it out. Like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously it's still possible, but not as frequent. And I just feel like I feel better in that way. I feel like it's my own energy, my own space. I just feel like a lot more calm, and I feel like I outgrew the club, and this is like more for me, and I feel like there's more longevity in it. I'll get better at it. We're getting.
I mean, it comes with time. Like, I mean, the fact that you've only been in it for less than a year, like, you've only been in it, wait, you said since February, so that's like 5 months. Like, I am so surprised because
Oh yeah,
new people that just join, their quality and like their presence and just like their overall brand doesn't look as cohesive and professional like yours does. So I thought you had, yeah, like I thought you had been doing this. That's why when you're like, I started in February, I was like, wait, February? Like 2019, 2020? You're like, this year. I was like,
oh my gosh, and I make customs for people, and I like and they write me 5-star review. I'm like, and I always say thank you so much for like choosing me to, you know, create this bag.
Yeah.
Especially me being so new, when there's so much more like reputable, like number one, like models that have like
right.
1,000 videos, and I have
that are making the 6 figures.
You know? Yeah, and I'm like, thank you for choosing me to, like, especially me being so new, and like, I didn't even know you were new. I'm like, well, did you not see how many freaking videos I have? But they're like, oh, I just thought you were on a different site or something. I'm like, you thought I was like been doing this? I'm like, stop.
Yeah, you have that like, just that. I use the word vibe a lot because I really go off of like vibe and energy.
You know, I love the vibe.
Yeah, like 100%. So that's why when I was like looking at your profile, I was just like, ain't no way she just been doing this since February. Like, ain't no way.
Stop!
Like,
freaking queen herself. Did you get your crown yet? I'm like dying.
No, not yet. I have my one from last year. I think it's gonna be the same one though. But
right there, I like the crown.
You want to see it?
I like really like it. That's why I kept saying I can't wait to see your guys' freaking crown. Love it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so this
your emails, by the way, because they still never came through. So I wonder.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, they
is it in your spam? Maybe.
Oh my freaking gosh. Okay, so what was this one for?
This one was for social picture of the year.
What does that mean? Like your Twitter or something like that?
Yeah. So basically, I did like this photo shoot called Melanin Goddess, and it was
I really love that.
Thank you. And then the photo that I posted, I entered that in, and it was supposed to be like most creative social like picture of the year for like the social feed.
Okay.
And then I just happened to win.
Oh my gosh, that crown is, I feel like I would like not want to take it. It's just like so beautiful. I just like love anything like glitter obviously. It's just like I'm like dying to see your new crowns. That is, I feel like I would never take it off. It looks just so amazing.
Honestly, it's so nice. I'm so fucking pissed off because when I moved here, I had like a company.
Something fell off of it.
Yeah, and it like cracked. And I told them when they were packing it, I was like, listen, this is a irreplaceable item. Like, I'll take it with me. Like, I'll put it in my car. And they're like, no, we package everything very well.
No.
Bitch, when I tell you, when I freaking unloaded this, for one, it was in my boxes with my kitchen supplies. When it was supposed to be in my art room.
I'm freaking.
And it was on the bottom. So there's like a few jewels that are missing. And get this. They said if anything is ever damaged, that there's insurance on it and it'll be replaceable. So I told them what the value of it was and all that stuff and how it was packaged. And they were like, well, actually, they said that you packaged this. And I was like, how am I going to package one item out of my entire old house? That makes no sense.
I would have just taken it in the car like I originally wanted to do anyway.
I would, exactly. Like, I knew I should have, but like...
That's like in Mean Girls when she wins Spring Fling Queen or whatever. And,
oh, yeah.
And they're like... and she's like, it's plastic.
I'm like, I mean, this is like... It is like plastic. I mean...
Okay, but I don't care. It's like the meaning behind it is...
Exactly.
I loves it. Hey, you want to see my Oh, it wasn't a junk. folder.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Because I'm like, did you send it?
Well, that's good to know then, that they send it to the junk.
Or something, right? To where it doesn't...
I think I have to do something on my end.
Okay, you want to see before... Okay, so this is... I filmed this. I'm not going to show you the whole video, but just, like, look at my face. Before... I filmed this the morning of my first training session with my new personal trainer. Can you see? My phone's so dirty.
Yeah.
Face? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then this one I filmed, like, last week. Let's fast forward to it. Can you see the difference in my face?
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see the difference. I mean, it's not much, but I can see a difference.
Such a difference. I deleted the other video because I was like, I hate it because I'm like,
it'd be like that.
Deleting one of my 12 videos, which I'm redoing it. I'm gonna redo it. But yeah, oh, amazing.
Man,
I wish that you lived in LA because we would be the bestest friends.
Honestly, yes. Like, honestly, like, I feel like, then too, I'm also such a, like, I'm not a flaker, but, like, I'll make plans, and I'll be, like, in that moment, like, yeah, I'm totally fucking down, and then when it comes time to it, I'm like, I hope this person cancels on me and, like, can't do it anymore, because, like, I don't know, I get this weird social anxiety.
That's not being a ranker, that's called being an adult. They feel like that.
Touché.
Yeah, I'm like, I said that when I was drunk, okay? Now I'm tired as fuck.
Dude.
Cancel. I think everyone feels like that.
Honestly. And then, too, it's like, with my birth control, it's really hard for me to, like, know what my mood is going to be in that moment because, like, my birth control really, really, like, messes with my hormones so bad.
That's when I gained weight. Birth control, I can't take it. Made me crazy. It made me batshit crazy. Couldn't do it.
Listen, birth control... is the devil.
The devil?
But it is my life.
Why?
Like, I will never get off of it. I mean, I'd rather like genetically ruin my body than accidentally get stuck with an unplanned pregnancy.
I feel like I'm not fertile because I'm such a partier. I'll just say it. I said it. There, I said it. My birth control is, I call it's spray and pray.
Bro. Bro, Plan B needs to sponsor you. Hell no. Hell no.
Sponsored by Spray and Pray Control. Spray and...
Bruh, with my luck, it won't work for me. I ain't doing it. I am not doing that. Hell no.
Oh my,
no.
My fans, like on my OnlyFans, have been with me a little bit longer than many vids because I've been on there for 2 years. But they laugh every time I say that. I'm like, yeah, spray and pray, baby, spray and pray, because you.
Oh my gosh.
Birth control worked for me when I took the pills. Is that I gained so much fucking weight that nobody wanted to have sex with me because I was not feeling myself. I'm like, that's how it worked for me.
Birth control is trash. I've literally tried every option or most options, except for like IUD, because there's just something about me like knowing that there's like this form of copper or whatever it is like just in my vagina. I don't know, it just like it weirds me out. I have the implant, which is like the little stick in the arm now, but I've did the pills, I've done the shot, I've done the patch, I've done the NuvaRing.
No, and like I was like, nope, spray and pray is where it's at for me because that baby.
Dude, they all had like their
it was crazy
cons too. Yeah, it's so crazy, and like I don't know, it's just. I don't know. I just would rather, like, I'd rather be mentally unstable and hormonal and moody. And I know I'm probably not going to be fertile because of, like, all the chemicals that have been pumping in my body since I was, like, 12, 13.
Yeah, see, I tried it for the
consistently.
first time at age 28, and it made me absolutely insane, and I'll never do it. It took me, like, so long to get, I only took it for, like, a few weeks, and I feel like get it out of my system was like I was in that crazy dark space in my head. It was really crazy. See, they say women are crazy, but you want to pump us with all these motherfuckers. Fuck you. Like,
literally, I feel like if I never did birth control, I probably wouldn't be crazy. I probably wouldn't have depression, anxiety. I wouldn't have any of this. But then I'm like, I don't know who I am without it because, like I said, I've been on it since I was like 13, 12, that it would be weird to know, like, that's like half my life, like, that I've been consistently on birth control. And so it's fucked up my oh man, my dogs are like killing each other right now. I'm sure it's probably echoing.
I can hear it, but
oh, okay, good. If one of them dies, fuck. No, I'm just kidding. But like it genetically, like it fucks with you so bad. That's why, like, when people were like, "Oh, are you gonna get the vaccine?" I was like, "Listen, I've been on birth control my whole like half of my life. I'm not afraid of getting more drugs pumped in my body because I don't know what the fuck kind of drugs have been pumped in my body for this birth control. Like the fact that you can stop someone from having a period that genetically I'm supposed to naturally have every month. Obviously, you're doing something that's suppressing it, which, you know, it just feels, it's just a weird thing. But like I said, I'd rather be fucking crazy, mentally unstable, emotionally nuts, depression, anxiety than accidentally have a baby.
Spray and pray, baby. Spray and pray. Manifest that method of birth control has been working for me this whole time. So I'm just banking on them. Such a fucking party girl. Thank you for partying. Thank you to my younger self for partying since I was freaking 15 years old. I'm banking.
Listen, I'm glad it works for you, baby girl, but I ain't taking no risk.
This is even real. Yeah. What do I knock? Knock on glass.
Knock on wood.
Oh my god. I don't know. I think I've just gotten pretty lucky so far, but I couldn't do it. You're a strong woman. I'm not that. I'm a weak bitch because I can't take birth control.
Listen, I've been thoughtin' and boughtin' since I was really a young age.
That.
So, sorry, Mom, if you ever listen to this. I'm sure you probably won't, but just in case, or my sisters, that's who I should be apologizing to.
Okay.
Or my sisters. Yeah, your sister, she was a hoe.
It's okay.
Big hoe. Big time hoe.
We all need a little hoe phase.
Slutty McSlut.
We're sluts and we own it, though.
Listen, I'm a lazy slut now. I'm tired. Tired. I was such a hoe that there was this guy, Bluebird, and he lived about an hour. Huh?
This is like your first love?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk with your eye. Like, it's like, oh, Bluebird.
Ew, did my eyes, like, do, like, a weird thing?
I'm like, ooh, I know that twinkle. That's like love.
Ew, that's fucking cheesy.
Ew. It did get a little blessing in my eye when I said that.
Ew, and my eyes are glistened. Ew. Not that, like, ew, like, he's a bad guy. It's just, like, I feel like a simp. Like, I'm on some simp shit. Like, oh, Bluebird. Okay. Anyways, he lives, like, an hour from me, and so we were just, like, in that stage where, like, you're talking, but you're not, like, officially anything, but, like, you're, like, fucking, and, like, you know, it's, like, that weird...
I don't like that gray area where it's, like, almost...
Yeah, it's, like...
Because it's, like...
Exactly.
Easy or not, I don't know.
Literally. So there were, like, guys in my city that, like, I would use to, like, go to dinner with and, like, go out with, like, get rides from. And then when it came down to, like, obviously they're guys, so they're like, all right, I just took this bitch out to a nice ass dinner, like, I'm trying to take her back to my crib. I would act super sick and be like, oh my god, I don't feel so good, and, like, get out of, like, basically fucking them, and, like, I would just use them. So I would trick these guys to be like, yo, I need you to drive me an hour away to go to my homie's house. And they'd be like, oh, I bet. And they were literally taking me to go to the dude that I was, like, fucking.
We've all been.
And they had no idea. And they would, like, dap them up, like, what's good, bro? Like, how you doing? All right, cool. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll text you when I need you to come pick me up if I need a ride. And they'd be like, all right. And I'll give them, like, like half-ass hug, like hella like rude. Like I'd be so rude. Yeah, I'd be disrespectful to these dumbass dudes, and they would still fuck around with me. And I'm like, I don't give you any pussy. I don't kiss you. Like I literally treat you like shit. And yet you're
though. They like it. They like it.
Like, that they do. Like, that's how I used to get around. Like if I wanted dinner, I hit up this guy. If I needed a ride, I hit up this guy.
Yeah.
If my friends wanted to eat, like I hit up this guy. And like I never, like that's the funny part. People think like, oh, you were such a hoe, and I'm like, I wasn't though, because I didn't really give them pussy.
Yeah, I just let people think whatever they want to think. People used to, you think whatever you want, but I know where my pussy's been, so.
Right, and I will say that it happened.
Yeah.
It happened places.
Oh my gosh.
It definitely, I know what I know because of what I done.
Right.
But.
I love that about you.
Jeez, yes, dude. I have such a crazy life. Ugh. Since chaotic madness.
Chaotic madness. We could talk for days. I feel like we have.
I can. It's like, I forgot who it was, but they were like, "Oh yeah, you're starting a podcast. I can totally see that because you can talk forever." And I'm like, I don't know. I guess maybe because I don't have people, like I don't have friends, so like all this like pent up like.
You're like, I have so many stories to tell. Can I tell you all of them right? Same.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect. That's how my podcast was too, but I had a falling out. But it was
You should totally start another podcast.
I kind of wanted, because it was called Glitter and the Guys.
Oh.
And because usually I'm the only girl in a group of guy friends, but it was with my best friend and then one of our other friends. And then he will probably never be allowed to listen to this anyways, but I hooked him up with one of my other good homegirls that was one of my best friends too. And I told him, like, we like share the brain. We like always said the same thing. I never had a best friend like him before. We really just knew each other like that. And I said, hey, are you ready for the first date for the rest of your life? And he was like, yeah. And he like really believed me because he's like, I know that I don't just make shit up. Like I don't just talk
right.
ass. And so yeah, they just got married recently, but like
oh shit.
After, so this was like this time last year, actually exactly this time last year, a month after they met, she kind of like, I don't know the exact story, but he's not allowed to be my friend anymore, which is like really freaking sad. That like I've never cried over a guy breakup ever, but that best friend breakup was like really
it's tough. Different.
Really that because it's like I lost two of my good friends and I felt like I got stabbed in the fucking back. I was like, damn, no good deed goes unpunished. You see what I'm saying? Like cancel everybody. So then I canceled everyone that in our group of friends because not because I hate them, but because it hurt my feelings to. It hurt my feelings to, like, see their stories with them going out with these two people that used to be, like, going to their relationship parties.
And you're not there.
And I'm not there, and I used to always be there. It hurt my feelings. Weird. I can't be friends with people that, like, even they're not doing it to hurt me, but it does hurt my feelings, and I, like, wish for them always. But I'm like, yeah, I can't be, like, sad all the time, So I just, like, unfollowed everyone, and I don't really hang out with them anymore. But if they hit me up, I'll say hi and stuff, but I don't really come around anymore. But yeah, that was like a blessing in disguise too, because then I found my business on ManyVids because I got so fucking bored. I think I got bored. I just would go on cam and be like, hey, you guys want to talk to me? What's up, you guys?
Everything happens for a reason.
I couldn't everything. But I'm like, they needed to meet because they truly are soulmates, and I'm very happy for them. And my time being friends with all them was what I needed at the time.
Right.
And now here we are.
They served your purpose.
Totally.
To help you get to the next chapter. Like, you both served the purpose in each other's life. He needed you to get introduced to his soulmate, and you needed him to have that, like, know what a true friend should be like, but then it helped you to get to the next chapter of where you are now. It's just, it seems like, what the fuck, like, things, like, right. Like, it's just everything. Like, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer of that. Even if it's a negative experience, there's a reason why that happened to you, and it'll all make sense, like, later on. Like, it'll be like,
okay, going to my life coach. I'm not even gonna say her name because it's gonna sound like I'm
this bitch and her life coach.
Which is life coach. She always says that everything happens for you, not to you. The bad things, because that whole string of 3 years of bad, like I swear I couldn't catch a break, because bad thing like
back to back, yeah,
back to back, and it was like so hard, and it was like now, like looking back, is like I see how everything was for me, like that this happened. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
I'm saying like, yeah, my time has to come soon. Like eventually, it's gonna be my turn. You know, I feel like this year was like really my turn.
And I feel like the panorama also needed to happen for a lot of people too. Like, I mean, not saying that the world, like, we needed a global pandemic, but I mean, like, it got people to stop, breathe, and really take a look at themselves and see what it was that they needed to work on or evaluate. I mean, granted, I would love for the world to, like, finally go back to, like, normalcy whenever that'll happen, but
yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Oh, I needed the pandemic for sure, because I definitely did a lot of like inner work and self-reflecting, and kind of brought me back to life. I feel like quarantine was a fucking party. It was crazy because quarantine, I was not very quarantined at all. And then, well, because I like got out of like a really toxic relationship and like kind of lost myself. And then I met my best friend and all my friends. I feel like they like brought me back to life, and it was like one big, like never ended. All 2020 till, you know, he couldn't be my friend anymore. And then I was like so sad, and then come around to this year, and I feel like it was like, okay, meeting them reminded me of who I am and like brought my personality back. And then like, now that you're back, this is for you, and it's time to work, and this is like what's for you. And I just feel like being an only child for 8 years, because my sister is, we have 8-year age gap. It was like, I feel like I was made to be a solo performer, because I'm like, I'm so used to talking to my imaginary friends all day. I can make custom all day. I'm like, perfect.
Who you telling?
It's easy peasy.
I swear, people, this is part of the reason why I don't want a life coach or a therapist, because I think they're going to think I'm crazy and, like, put me in a fucking 5150 hold in a mental institution.
Like, Exo Sasha, where you at?
Girl, I'm in a mental hospital. I went and got me a life coach, and this bitch put me on a 5150 hold.
Like, see, this is why I didn't want to listen to you. I'm like, no, don't listen to me. You have to do whatever you feel called to do. My life coach says, like, if you don't feel called to take my course, don't do it. Like, only if you feel... Like, if something
like
you take it. I don't want you to take it. I'm not going to say you need it, because I don't know if you need it. Like,
right.
Called to do it. I feel like in life, you got to be an intuitive ass bitch.
Yep, exactly. Go with your gut instinct, and just like always, like, you know, like, I feel like as a person, there's like a voice in your head, and it tells you like where, like what you should do. And I think 9 out of 10 times, like, we ignore it, and then we're like, damn, if I would have just like went with my gut instinct, then I would have not have made that mistake. But like, I've been learning to just kind of go with my instinct, and it's been helping me, because I'm like, I won't steer myself wrong. It's outside influences that steers me the wrong path. When I just listen to myself, I'm on my shit. I'm on my grind. Like, I'm the best I can be. But when I start listening to everyone else, then it's like,
it gets all lost in the mix.
Completely.
That's what I said about this year too. Like, not having any friends this year, I feel like I spent a lot of time doing like a lot of inner work, and I was like 100% able to focus on myself, because I feel like same with you. I'm like always trying, like, what can I do to help out my friends? Like, they like make music. I'm like, yeah, what can I do? Like, you know, I just like want to hype my friends up and help anyone.
Exactly.
I feel like, yeah, if I was still kicking it with them, I wouldn't be talking to you right now at all.
Yeah.
Like, everything.
You'd be out partying.
I would, because that's what I'd still be out partying. Yep. Imagine that. I wouldn't be sitting here.
Different chapters in life. I was just telling my friend the other day, I was like, I have outgrown, I think, my party lifestyle. I think there's like a small part of me that feels like I miss it, but like, I partied so much before I was even 18 that like,
same.
I don't really miss it. It's just like certain, like, for my dirty 30, like, best believe I'm gonna turn up like I'm 20.
You fucking bet.
Like,
well, I also, like I said, partied since I was 15, and people always said, when you're like in your late 20s, it's gonna get old. No, I still party. Do you know I just book, I get bottle service by myself. I'm not joking. I fucking, because I'm such a party girl. I literally have the best time going out. Well, I'll tell you after why it was why it's fucking dope. Because the first show I wanted to go to, I was like, yeah, fuck everyone else, because I feel like I make a little bit more money than my friends, and I'd be like, here, I'll put in most of it, just help with a little bit, and then let's all go. Mm-hmm. And then I tweeted, once again, my freaking diary. I was like, getting bottle service to see whatever, because no one else deserves to be spoiled by me except for me. And I freaking went, and it was literally every time I go out by myself, I have the best time, because I meet like someone really like important. Like, it's really crazy. After, but
interesting.
Yeah, every time. Even when I was 18 and I went to a rave by myself, because my stupid fucking boyfriend, she let me went to Coachella by himself without me. So I was like, I'm fucking driving to Fresno from LA to this random rave, and I went there, and this is influenced my life. I wouldn't be here now if I didn't meet him, but I went by myself, party by myself, sober, and then his photographer took a picture of me, and then he was like, hey, you want to do a shoot? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Took his card, but didn't, I like threw it away. And then he contacted like the lead go-go and was like, hey, do you know who this girl is? And then she was like, oh, I actually asked her if she wanted to go. This is where my go-go dancing started. She's like, I actually if she wanted to go-go dance for our team up here. And he was like, oh, really? Like, it was Facebook at the time. He's like, what's her Facebook? And so he contacted me, and he was like, hey, would you want to do a shoot for Hustler magazine? And I was like, okay. And that was my first photo shoot ever. And when I showed up, I was like, okay, what do I do? He was like, have you never done a shoot before? I was like, no, you didn't ask me. But I was like so broke and just really, I was like, what do I do? And he's like this big guy, and he was like, okay, so you're going to go like this. I was like, okay, how do I do it? Like, it was just like my first photo shoot ever. But it's like that. To this date, him and I are still really good friends, and he does all of my photo shoots. My Twitter, like, banner picture, he took. But he's like, oh, wow. You need to start OnlyFans. I'm like, I don't want to do it. I, like, suck at that. And he was like, no, you need to do it. Like, I feel like to where I am now is, like, influenced from that moment. How crazy is that?
That is so crazy. And the fact that your first photo shoot was with Hustler.
Yeah, like, crazy, right?
Like, your first photo shoot is with Hustler. Of all magazines, and Hustler. That doesn't happen.
I know. That's why it was really crazy, because it's like every time someone tries to sabotage me, okay, you want to go cheat on me and fucking go to Coachella? I'm going to this fucking rave, and now I'm a fucking published model. And I was like, bye. See ya.
Dude, it goes back to, I am a firm believer, everything happens for a reason.
So yeah, it's crazy, because if he didn't take a picture of me, see me as, like, that go-go literally before, like, the end of the night asked me, like, hey, like, where do you live? Like, would you want to go dance? And I was like, I live really far, but yeah, I do. Because I never did it before. So I'm like, yeah, I'll freaking drive 5 hours to go dance.
Right. I'm like, Fresno was like a good 5 hours from LA.
Car, and I had like a shitty car, and I was really poor, but I like really wanted to do it, so I did it.
Dude, this is insane.
What a life, right? And then here we are today. I'm talking.
And then here we are
winning many vids model, Raee, on her one of her first podcasts and YouTube episodes.
Yes, that is very correct, and that is very true. I swear, every time you say a Minivids award winning, I'm like, who, me? Man, but no, I do like appreciate you like being here. It's random as like it is, and it worked out. Like, this is the internet, this is the new generation. But before we wrap it up, I like to know, like, what is your current song of the month? Like, I love, like, finding new music.
Okay, hold on. This is, like, the hardest for me, because I feel like it's so much pressure. This song,
right?
It's so much pressure.
It is.
Oh, fuck. What is my song of the month? Oh, my God.
And she breaks down, has an anxiety attack.
Oh my God.
As we talked about childhood trauma and got deep about EDs, but you ask her about a song and she's about to have a nervous breakdown.
Oh my God. I feel like playing freaking DJ is like such anxiety. Okay, can I do 3 because 1 is too hard? Okay,
yeah, let's do 3.
Okay, so the first one is like I discovered it this time last year, actually, coming out of my depression. It's called I like house music, or like tech house. Fur by Endor. And then one is I'm a big supporter of my friends. I actually really do love my friend's music. He just released it the other day. It's called You Crazy.
You Crazy?
His name is Codes or Codes House. And then
is he on podcasts? I mean, on podcasts on Spotify?
On all platforms.
Okay.
And then the last one is called Ticket by Nate the Rapper with 2 R's.
Nate the Rapper. Okay. And it's called Take It.
Ticket. Take a ticket. It's like take a ticket, you know?
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay.
What?
I love asking people that because I'm like a huge music, not connoisseur. That's far from it.
Pressure when someone's such a music person. I'm like, I gotta find a really cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, no, not. I'm furthest from like a connoisseur. I just love different types of music for sure. But I'm the type of person that like if I hear a song from someone, like I'll low key pull up Shazam and like have Shazam like look up what the song is, and then I'll add it on my playlist, and then I'm like, okay, I vibe with this.
Yeah. What
That's how I am.
Or what's your song of the month or your favorite genre?
My song of the month would probably be a song by Logic.
Okay.
It's called All I Do.
Okay. Look at that. Adding it to the playlist.
I like vibe to it when I go to the gym. Like, I don't know, it's just like there's like a hook in it where it like, I don't know, it's like, how does it go? It's like, all I do is get this money. All I do is grind. It's like something like that. Like the hook is what really catches me.
Okay.
And it just, keeps me hype. It just reminds me of like why I'm trying to do everything in my life, and like, I don't know. I mean, I like Logic in his music for the most part. So.
Okay, cool. I'm adding it to the gym playlist.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of like, for my gym playlist, I play it if like I just got there and I'm like warming up, easing into the workout, or if I'm getting ready to like come down from it. It's definitely not in the middle. Like when I'm lifting, I don't listen to it. It's like either before or after.
Okay.
That's kind of like the vibe of the song.
Okay. Loves it. Thanks for sharing. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. There are technical difficulties, and
that's my life.
From the life of internet
sensation.
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say sensations.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, go ahead and give us all of your socials as to where everyone can find you.
Samantha Lexi on Instagram. Samantha Lexi on Twitter with 2 underscores. Many vids is Samantha Lexi. It's Samantha Lexi on all of them.
And that's Lexi Lexi.
Yes. Elliot.
And I'll also link it down below in the description as well.
Best.
Or wherever you're listening to this at.
Appreciate you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for coming. And until next time, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.